Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football in this special episode of the Barca Talk, guys, because this is going to be a very, very good one. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, the beautiful stuff. But as you guys see, this is Barca Talk, and I do have a Barca panelist here. You guys have seen him. You guys already know who he is. A man like Barca Volume in the building. Brother, how are you, bro?
I'm doing amazing, man. Not as good as Madrid just took care of business this morning. Unfortunately, of course, they got a penalty, but what else is new, man? But we just got to worry about ourselves. We got a big game tomorrow against in Anoeta against Real Sociedad, and got to take care of business, man. But we're here to talk about Dro Fernandez, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, like you mentioned, man, Real Madrid get a penalty. Water is wet. It is what it is. But listen, like you mentioned, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about. At the end of the day, we're still top of the table until that happens. I'm not worried about what they're doing, right? They got too many problems. It is what it is. But let's talk about, obviously, the news, man. This is something we've been hearing about since the whole morning of yesterday, right? It's been all over the place. Pedro Fernandez, the youngster, the player, that we've been hearing about throughout this year, right? Apparently, he was the one that was supposed to break out this year from the academy. We saw Bernal last season was supposed to be that guy. We have seen Gavi. We've seen even guys like, Ansu, Yamal, all these guys, right? And he was supposed to be the next one in the pipeline. And it was looking great. He showed the potential. We were seeing the potential there. But unfortunately, we got some big news, which was that apparently he made it very clear that he wants to leave. Now, Fabrizio Romano, he came out and basically talked about it. Sorry about that. He came out and he said it this morning, as you can see, Volume, right? He basically came out and said, Paris Saint-Germain have presented a contract proposal for Dro, who's set to leave Barcelona. PSG are pushing to sign the 18-year-old midfielder, with talks already underway behind the scenes for $6 million release clause. Now, Volume, talk to me, man. Like, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it's well, the news came out yesterday. It was very shocking. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like there's a lot of angles to go with this. For example, Hansi Flick was extremely upset, and for a reason. Hansi Flick had been talking to the kid. He had been, telling him his plans with the team. And from what I've seen and what I've researched about this topic is I actually haven't uploaded a video. I uploaded a short, but I have been like digging in a little bit about this whole thing. And Hansi Flick was kind of bamboozled by this whole situation because he thought that him and Dro Fernandez were like on the same page in terms of the future. He's young. He hasn't played a lot of minutes, but Hansi Flick thought he was, trying to give him more playing time. He's actually played more than Rooney Bargi, for example. I know he hasn't played a lot, but I think this comes out of nowhere. Barcelona thought they may have a deal with in the pipeline for Dro Fernandez. Now if we talk about the decision itself, I feel like he's rushing it. I feel like he's been impatient. I know as a cooler, we wish him the best. We hope that he can go somewhere where he feels more appreciated, where he feels like he's going to be more or have a better role or more or protagonist role. But I do feel, for example, that if these reports are true, PSG is not the best place for him unless Luis Enrique, Luis Enrique is a great manager. Luis Enrique can do a lot with him. But I don't know how much time, these deals, bro. Remember what happened to Mark Yu, by the way? They told him sunshines and rainbows when he left to Chelsea. And what happened to him? He rarely ever played, and it was not the same. So I'm not saying that I wish him the worst, but what I'm saying is if he would have stayed, just be more, a little bit more patient, I think would have been best for him. I know that he believes in him, but what I'm going to say is he's basically gambling on himself, and you can't blame the kid for that. But at the same time, if I had that kind of talent, maybe I'm biased or whatever, but if I had that kind of talent, I'm already at Football Club Barcelona, bro. I'm already playing at Football Club Barcelona, even if it's just a couple minutes. I'm already here, bro. All it takes, like, I'm not wishing injury on anybody. All it takes is an injury from Dani Olmo, and you're second in the pecking order as a number 10. You're right there, bro. You're right there. You have any idea how long Fermin Lopez waited for this opportunity? He waited a long time. Not everybody's Lamine Yamal, where at 18 years old, you're going to be the star of the team, brother. Like, that's just what I'm saying. Like, if you go to PSG, just know it's a different environment, different language. You have to get used to that game plan, the style. You've been at Barca since you were a younger kid, and now you decide to leave at the first chance you get. We've seen this movie before.
I mean, like you mentioned, this is not nothing new to Barca fans, is it? Right? We've seen youngsters, right, when they just break into the scene, when they just look like they're about to get, finally make that big opportunity coming out of the academy. All of the big talk. The recent one I can think of on the top of my head, you talk about Masia, but with Masia, he had a lot of potential. Think about someone like Ilaix Moriba. He's probably the biggest
He regretted. He's been on record.
This dude came out before Gavi, before all of this. This guy was in the squad with Pedri, and he was starting with Pedri week in, week out. And then everyone was talking about how this guy, we were calling him Pogba region. Dude, we were calling him our Pogba region.
If I'm Dro, dude, I want to be next to Pedri every day, dude, in practice, bro. Yeah, that. You have any idea how invaluable that is? I know right now you're taking money. You're taking more money. That's okay. That's okay. You're betting on yourself. They're telling you they're going to play you more. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I mean, let me ask you something, because here's the thing. This is not the first time we've sold one of our youngsters to PSG. You know who the last person was? It was Xavi Simons in 2019. Mm-hmm. Do you remember, Volume? Because you've been to work in Barca longer than me.
Same thing.
Remember when this dude was in La Masia? 13, 14. Everyone was talking about Xavi Simons. I remember, bro, from a young kid, I heard of this kid in La Masia. I was like, yo, this Xavi Simons guy with the hair. Like, he had like the blonde hair. He was like light skin. I was like, yo. They were saying, yo, this kid, he's going to be the future of Barca.
And to his credit, he actually came out to be a pretty good footballer. But
no, he did.
Maybe a Barca would have been a little. Maybe he would have been.
He regretted leaving, because he always talks about Barca. You can tell that's a part of him that wishes he never left. Like, there's a part of him. Like, when he was being linked, remember at the start of the season when we're putting him in the conversation, you saw him talking more about Barca. He was clearly wanting to return. He didn't want. He regretted the move. And especially when he saw, I'm sure after he left, because he left in 2019, 2020, you had Pedri come in, you had Gavi, all of these players just all coming out of La Masia, all coming out at the same time. He probably was sitting there saying, brother, that could have been me. I would have been the first one to come out of the academy before Ilaix Moriba and all these guys, if I never left. You understand what I mean? But just to keeping it on Dro Fernandez, right? This really makes me sad, because, like you mentioned, the fact that even Flick came out and even said that. Flick was blunt today in his press conference, or was it yesterday on his press conference, bro?
Yesterday.
His bluntness.
No, that's today. That's today.
Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
No,
right?
Today. This press conference today.
I mean, I didn't watch the press conference.
It was this morning, bro. This morning. Before.
But yeah, here it is.
They always do press conferences one day before the game.
Okay, so this is what he said. Take a look at this. He said, I want to say to La Masia players, we are Barca. Here, you can grow as you can. Train with the best players in the world. You can get support from all of us. If you want to play for Barca, then it must be 100% with your whole heart. You live for the Barca colors. All the others, I do not want them here with us. Brother, this is a mic drop of the century. Let me tell you something, my manager. This is what I want to hear from my manager. And you know what?
Dude, I get goosebumps, bro. I feel like Flick is talking to me right now.
I want to what he said. This is the quote, but I want.
He went Johan Cruyff on Dro.
No, he did. He did. I
If
saw.
you don't,
you know why?
if you're having second thoughts, you're not good for us. Leave.
But you know why he did that though? Because let's be real. I feel like the reason he was very emotional talking about Dro is because he saw the potential of Dro and he really wanted to give this kid an opportunity. I think he saw so much potential in this kid, but he didn't want to rush him because there's pressure wearing the Barca shirt. They're gonna eat you alive if you don't perform. And I think he was trying to protect him from that. So he was like, listen, take your time. I will ease you into the first team. But you got to take your time. You'll get into the first team.
I've always said this, Omar. People, even players, and I've seen this. This is a weird phenom. This is a weird thing. Like it just happens to a lot of people. Playing for Madrid or Barca, dude, it's not the same, bro. When you go out and play for somebody else. And even players like Dro, for example, that are in the up and up. Do you realize how much bigger of a star you are when you play for these two teams? Like, it's astronomical. Like, if for example, if you take a look at Mbappe, for example, Mbappe, everybody knew who he was, the World Cup, and everybody knew like from PSG. But was he really relevant when he was at PSG losing Champions Leagues? Nobody really cared, bro. Like, as soon as he came to Madrid, bro, he had that golden boot race. People talked about him way, way, way more than he ever had in his whole entire career. He was in the eye, bro. He was in the eye of the people. It was like the bird's eye. Everybody saw what he did last season, bro. That's the difference. So when you're playing for example, if he goes to PSG and he has, let's say that he has a bench role, like he's coming off the bench, right? That's fine. Who do you think is going to watch him? And people in French are going to watch the Ligue 1. Is that the league that he wants to play for? That's where he wants to go. Sure, he'll get shouts. He'll play for like the Champions League or whatever. I'm not saying PSG is not a big club. It is a big club. They have a big project. But are you sure that going to a 2 billion euro project is the place where you're going to get your playing time with the likes of Dewey, with the likes of Dembele, with the likes of Gonzalo Ramos, with the likes of like freaking dude Kvaratskhelia, bro. This Joao Neves, bro. Vitinha, bro. Are you serious? Like, are you telling me that you can hang with these boys? Are you telling me you can earn a spot with this team? Barca was by far, bro, against Fermin and against Olmo, was his best bet. Bet on yourself. Bet on how good you are. Take a gamble. But right now, it's always a gamble. I get it. But right now, he's gambling up against that kind of project instead of sticking here. Like Dani Olmo's injury prone. What? God forbid. What if he's injured? What if he gets injured for a year? Like now, you're the second coming up to Fermin Lopez. And you'd rather just leave your comfort zone. It's fine, bro. Like it's fine. I don't want to sound like I am butthurt about this thing, but I do want to make it clear that these ideas that he's getting through his head and these decisions that he's making, I think they're rushed. And I think at least he could have waited and see if Barcelona would offer him a deal and send him on a loan and then ship him back in like a year or so. If he's so desperate to get minutes, why not just sign a deal, go on a loan somewhere where you like to play, somewhere where you think you can enjoy what you have to enjoy your style, and Barca can send you there, bring you back next season to start of 2026, 2027, and maybe start fighting for a roster spot. But I don't know, man. I wish him the best. I don't want to sound like a butthurt person that he left. I think it's fine, bro. Honestly, like 6 million euros is some chunk change for Barca, to be honest, for a kid who's promised young star. Yes, it would have been better to keep him, but him leaving it's not the end of the world, bro. We're Barca, bro. We're fine.
No, I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even angry. That's the thing is, Valium. I'm just like you. I'm not angry. I feel a lot like Flick does. I'm disappointed. I'm just damn. Because I see so much potential in this kid, and I think he would have made it at Barca.
You know what? The fans, bro, I'm telling you because on my channel, bro, the fans love him, bro.
But that's the thing.
The fans love him. I
remember
when I started doing my post-game shows at the beginning of the season, when I started in the preseason, dude, people in the comments, bro, like every time Dro played, bro, like everybody went crazy.
Dude, me too.
Everybody
Me too. I called him Dr. D. I gave him Dr. D. I don't even give names to be players. He's one of the first I actually gave a name to because I rated him so highly. I was like, bro,
yeah,
we got a gem. We got a gem.
Barca loved him.
And this is, and like you mentioned,
dude,
right
Rafinha
now we are so oriented.
Rafinha was taking him a cake, bro. Rafinha was taking him a cake, bro. Good luck finding that at PSG, bro. Like they gave him a cake an airplane, bro.
No, see, that's the thing, right? Listen, he could go to PSG and he could cook over there. He's got the talent. Let's not deny it. He's got the talent. He can go there and make it. True, right? But it's just like what you mentioned. Neymar was world class. Brother, yes, he went to PSG. Yes, he won a lot of trophies, scored a lot of goals. But was he never the same player that he was at Barca? Nope. No.
And Omar, who watched him? That's what I'm saying. Like, who watched Neymar, bro? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I watch Neymar in the Champions League. That's it, bro. That's it, bro. I'm telling
about Dembele. That's the same thing with Dembele. Because Dembele, if he wasn't for the fact that he won the treble last season, would he even be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or? I don't care what he did in Ligue 1. The only reason he won the Ballon d'Or was because of what he did in the PSG shirt in the Champions League. That's the only reason. Yamal would have won the Ballon d'Or if we had beaten them in the final. If we had played them in the final and beaten them, bro, the Ballon d'Or conversation wouldn't have even been a thing.
Yeah.
The only people that would have been even making it a thing would have been PSG fans. No one else in the world would have been saying Dembele for the Ballon d'Or if Yamal won the Champions League last season. You understand what I mean, right? And that is the point, isn't it? And look, I'm gonna be very real, right? You know why this is so similar to the Ilaix Moriba situation is this. It's not even just because of the potential, right? It's because of the circumstances value. Ilaix Moriba was the golden child. He was the highest paid player in Barca B, right? Making a lot of money, doing so well for himself. And then guess what? When he broke into the first team, the people around him became greedy. His agent, his family, all of these people started becoming greedy because they looked at it and they thought, yep, he's the golden child of Barcelona. He's playing every week. We are going to demand whatever we want. If you can give us what we want, we're out of here.
Yeah.
And then Barcelona, all right, there's the door. And he ended up regretting it. This is the same thing that's happening. I don't think Dro is the one that's really pushing this. I think it's the people around him, his agent, the people around him that are seeing this brother as a cash cow right now, right? And they've probably been talking to PSG way before. You understand what I mean?
He's taking the money. He's listening to offers. Of course, these things are gonna happen to you, bro. Like if you follow like superstar careers, they've all had this. Like LeBron James had this. Michael Jordan had this. Like with the shoe deal. I don't know if you watched that movie, but that's a really nice movie to watch. When they talk about the shoe deal where he was supposed to go to Nike, he was supposed to go
I saw that.
Adidas, and then he ended up going with the I forgot the brand name right now.
Nike? When you got the Air Jordans?
That's right. That was
Nike.
Nike wasn't as big back then.
Yes,
that was
and they ended up giving him like he asked for a certain demand, and they were the only ones that were willing to give him that. And when they give him that, he signed for them. And
but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But I remember LeBron James talked about this. He said he actually rejected our offer, and they were broke. Like he literally said when he rejected like $100 million. I can't remember exactly the amount, but they're like, did I rejected that offer? He's like, I remember that drive home. And we were crying because we rejected that offer. Because you can't just listen to the money, bro. Like if you just chase money, okay, money wise, it may change your life, but your life is going to change regardless.
I think you're talking about I think the situation you're talking about was it Jordan or the LeBron one? Because I'm talking about the Jordan one. Because Jordan also had the same deal. So Jordan, remember when like you mentioned, and Nike were not as big. They wanted to sign him, but they couldn't offer him what Adidas and all these other people were offering him. But they were willing to give shares of their company because they were basically he bought minor shares and also got the Air Jordans. So as a result, when the Air Jordans started selling and Nike were making money, he was making double the amount of money from Nike.
But the LeBron James was a different story when he talked about his deal as well, and he said he was offered a deal and he turned it down, and he was legitimate poor when he turned it down. So it goes to show you how easy players are always going to get this offer spewed at them. Oh, I'll give you this much money. Come here and do this. And like, for example, PSG right now, that they're asking him, probably telling him, we're going to pay you this much. You can come here and play with us. And the kid feels important. The kid feels taken care of. It's fine, bro. But I'm saying, like, sometimes the more you bet on yourself, just make the better decisions. Stay a la Masia. He's not a finished project, Omar. He's not a finished project. He's not ready yet. So if he's not ready yet, why not sign a couple more years and be ready? And then finally you can leave when you're a player if you so desired. But if he's not a finished product, like I said, he's got the talent. The kid is good. The kid will be good. But he's not a finished product. I wish he would have stayed a couple more years to kind of see what he would develop into. I guess we'll never know. And I guess we'll see him at PSG, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is basically what's just come out in the last like an hour ago. So basically they're saying it's a done deal. They will be activating the buyout clause. So the buyout clause will probably be activated tomorrow or Monday, right? So he's basically all but gone. But you know what, right, Valim? Before we do finish up, right, let's just talk about one last thing, right? Now that Dro is gone, there's still a lot of players in La Masia that are still being talked about, right? I've been hearing one which actually I've been excited about because, just like, where you're from El Salvador, I am Gambian, right? Listen, there is a Gambian youngster, right? His name is Ibrahima Tunkara. He's a player that's, been making, I've not seen enough of him, but I've been hearing him recently. I said, Will, you're telling me there's a Gambian in La Masia, yeah? Listen, apparently he's a good player, and apparently, they're saying that he could even be promoted to the first team. Now, to see a Gambian wear the Barca shirt, bro, the amount of pride that would put in my heart, man. Maybe this Dro deal might be a blessing in disguise. Now, it's not just him. Obviously, there's still other players, right? There's still a lot of, players from the academy that I've been hearing about. I think that at the end of the day, like you mentioned, it's like the Ilash Moriba thing. Yeah, when we lost Ilash Moriba, we thought we were losing a generation talent. But guess what? That same year, Gavi came out. Remember, that season was the season Gavi broke through. So, for Dro, I seriously hope for your sake that you don't regret it. But I have a feeling, brother, you might. Because here's the thing. This is the thing, Value. It's a step down. It's like Neymar. Bro, you're at Barca. Like, do you realize every move you make from now is a step down from here? Yeah, you might have a career, but it's not Barca.
No,
you
it's
have
not.
an opportunity to go down with good legends like Xavi.
Do you think? I'll give you an example. Do you think these many people would know him if he wasn't a La Masia product?
Nope.
That's what I mean. What I mean. Like, if he was coming out of PSG Academy right now, nobody will know who he is except for people and friends, bro. That's the difference. And if he wants to do that, then that's fine, bro. That's fine.
Think about some of the players in PSG, right? Think about like that kid, that Senegalese youngster who I actually think is good. The Mbaye, the wing Mbaye. If Mbaye was in La Masia, he would have been called the next big thing. Like this guy would have been all over, like everywhere. He would have getting sponsorships and everything. Zaya Emery, another one from PSG. Imagine Zaya Emery was from La Masia. Do you realize the amount of noise that kid would have been made if he was in La Masia? Right? Like you mentioned, a lot of these players who I think are talented, but it's where they are. Like, La Masia has some tax in it. Anytime a player comes from La Masia, bro, people always have their eyes open.
Mark you. He took the money. He went to Chelsea. It's fine, bro. But guess what? How much more relevant would he be right now if he has stayed? By the way, he stayed at a moment where we needed somebody at that position. Do you realize how ridiculously dumb that decision was? Okay, he took the money instead of betting on himself and going out there and ball out and actually be a Barcelona starter, a superstar or a star. Because we needed a striker when he left. And now we have Ferran Torres. Like that goes to show you, right? Instead of him, now we have Ferran.
Don't forget him. He's still in the academy. He could still break into the squad anytime.
Who?
Tony Fernandez.
Oh, yeah. Tony's there.
That's the thing. You see, when Masia left, all of a sudden we started hearing about Tony Fernandez instantly. And Tony Fernandez was scoring goals in La Masia, by the way. Like, this guy is not like, he's just for the sake of naming. Like, same thing that happened when I heard this Dro deal. I started hearing this Ibrahima Tunkara, started hearing a lot of these other players, right? And I was like,
who would have known Nomar? Who would have known Pedro back in the day? Who would have known who would have thought that he became so famous? If he would have played for Villarreal, nobody would knew him to this day.
Nope.
He would have played for Villarreal.
Look at Abde, Iliash. Look at some of the players who are currently. Think about some of the players who've come out of La Masia who never even made it at Barca, right? Bartra had a career. Why? La Masia came from La Masia's academy. You had players like Abde. Abde was from our academy. Look at him at Betis. He has a career. Iliash, another one. Munir. You understand what I mean? Right? Even guys like Irash Muriba, all these guys right now, they really have a career because of what? La Masia, bro. Because everyone hits La Masia. Every time you're from La Masia's academy and you're a graduate, you will have a career, whether it's at the top level or just mid-level. You will have a career.
Yeah, and I mean, he's already known. He's not just gonna be unknown all of a sudden. But for example, he may be like Grimaldo, for example. Grimaldo is a player who came out. Everybody knows who he is, but nobody's really watched his games. Nobody really. He's not that relevant, but he's famous enough to like everybody knows who Grimaldo is. So he may be like a Grimaldo, unless he just blows it out of the water and it becomes a superstar, and we're regretting that we didn't give him a deal, and then he just becomes like the next Ronaldinho or something like that, or like the next superstar or whatever. Unless he becomes that, Barcelona will not regret this, and it's not like that we can regret it because it's out of our hands. Like he decides to activate his release clause, there's nothing we can do. There's literally nothing. Player,
I'll tell you right now, value, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before we get out of here. The one player who I think in my lifetime I can say and say, you know what, I wish we actually kept him. The only player I can really think of is probably Thiago Alcantara, and that's really stretching it because Thiago was a good player. I think Thiago had potential. I think that, when you look at how great he became, I was like, you know what, right? I think Thiago, if we had kept him, I think he would have been perfect, right? I think, he was one of our own. He would have broken into the team after Xavi, left Barcelona and all that. But, it is what it is. But like you mentioned, that's the only thing. Other players, there have been some players that have had careers. That's great. But Barcelona, have we missed those players? Absolutely not.
Yeah, maybe if you become like a Cucurella, for example, a player
Cucurella is another one. Yeah.
If you come out of La Masia, then you go to a great team in Chelsea and you become a star for that team, a starter. Then the Premier League it has very high ratings. You can be very relevant if you play in the Prem. But PSG, bro. Come on, man. If he would have went to Borussia Dortmund, I would have loved it, bro. Because I would have been like, I wish him the best. I think this is a place where his growth is going to be enormous. I think it's a place where that's what they do. They get these players at this stage of their career. They find a spot for them. They put him on the number one team, and they selling him a couple seasons later. That's a place where he could have went and said, you know what, I'm going to go there.
Could have had a buyback clause,
I'm going to start there for 2 seasons, even if you don't have the buy clause, even if he just would have went there.
You mean like he did like Hakimi, like what Hakimi did?
Yeah, go to Dortmund, play there. They'll give you they'll give you a chance to be a star. Once you become a star, and then you leave to City, leave to Chelsea, leave to whatever you want. And now that at least you'll be a star, but at PSG, dude, I doubt that he'll have an important role next season, bro.
I agree 100%. But listen, big up to all the people who've been watching, man. Let us know what you guys think about this Dro Fernandez to PSG move. It is what it is. We just move on. At the end of the day, Barcelona, life goes on for us, right? At the end of the day, no place bigger than the club. So we're going to be focusing on us. Tomorrow we have a big game against Sociedad. We'll get the win. And then, we move on and pretend like none of this happened. Another player will break from the academy very, very soon. And we'll all forget about this kid. Don't worry about it. But good luck to Dro Fernandez at PSG because you're definitely going to need it, man. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Barca Volume, guys. Link to the channel will be in the collaboration link, guys. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Barca Volume, guys. Pick up to you guys. Make sure you guys smash the likes. Visca el Barca. Peace. Take care.